Hey guys, Orlando here, and I'm back with another contemplation on the jinkies that are transiting us in these days. So we are now in like the fifth day of the ninth and the 16th jinki as I'm recording this video. Let me share you what came through me by just contemplating these two keys. And uh, some people asked me, why don't I do these contemplations before the gene keys arrive? And I do them like in the ending days, like I'm doing this in the fifth day of the contemplation. And the answer is very simple, because I want to feel that energy, and I want to feel its power. I want to feel its weakness. I want to feel it all. So what I have done today, when I said, okay, I don't know what I'm going to write in this contemplation. Things happen to me in these days, but I had like this writer's block. I couldn't access my mind. So I just opened Richard's book, The Jinkies, of course, and just read like a paragraph, not really a paragraph, like half a paragraph, and then it started to flow. And then I couldn't read it to the end. I couldn't read it past that paragraph, to be honest. So this is why I'm doing these jinkies. I'm just feeling them and see um, what are they like now, because next year it will be different. Yeah, there will be other jinkies that will transit with these jinkies, because the ninth and the 16th jinki shows us the energy that comes from the sun and from the earth. But there are Mars, the moon, Venus, Mercury, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, yeah, Uranus, the bunch. And next year it will be different. So uh, this is why I think it's so important for us to feel the present moment, and to access what this sum of energies transmits us. And they transmit us by using the language of the jinkies that are coming from the sun and earth. Yeah, the most prominent one, the sun, and the most closest to us, the earth. So okay, let me tell you this. So these two jinkies show us the way to truth. In the logical collective circuit in human design, the ninth and the 16th jinki are from this circuit that is collective logical, or logic collective, and or how it's easier for you to understand in English. And they are brothers with or sisters, or brothers and sisters with the 63rd jinki of truth. uh, so if you read the gifts and the shadows and the CDs of the jinkies that are in this circuit, and I'm going just to put them out there. I did like contemplation in Romanian, written contemplation about how they mingle with each other, but I think it's better just to have your own opinion about them. So I'm going to give you the jinkies, if you don't know them, from this circuit. They are the 63rd, the 4th, the 62, the 17, the 16. Yeah, what we are going with right now. The 48th, the 18th, the 58th, the 52nd, Yeah, it's more correct in English. The ninth, yeah, the sun in this period. The fifth, the 15th, the 7th, and the 31st. Yeah, with arrogance and leadership, and that show us the way to real humbleness. So we can say that what really blocks us or frees us is our intellect. Yeah, and what kind of questions do we ask us? So if we ask us the wrong questions, we are going to our intellect will try to solve it, will to get the right answers through the fourth jinki, and so we are going to get in all those lovely shadows of dissatisfaction, judgment, inadequacy, stress, impatience, and yeah, all the other separation, arrogance. But if we don't lose ourselves in detail, we can use the mind as it is intended to observe and analyze this reality, not to solve our problems. Because the problems they are solved by themselves, not really by pushing for an answer, but by letting the answer come to us. So our intellect can block us, or it can show us with precision, yeah, what is the road to truth. And I think the road to truth is individual, because every person has a good path in life, a beneficial path that feels well, and or more paths that feel well, and paths that don't feel well, that are not beneficial. So let's find our way to a good path in life, because when we look at the gift of the ninth jinki, determination, like all jinkis, the gift can also be a shadow. So when we use too much of a gift, yeah, or we use it unwisely, it becomes a shadow. All the jinkis, you can put all the jinkis, like the 12th jinki, discrimination, can become a shadow. Yeah, the 7th jinki, guidance, you can guide yourself into a brick wall or something. Yeah. So determination is like this. Some people are so determined to live a shitty life. I, it really bothers me. I've been working with people from 2008, and I've seen this in thousands of people. Yeah, I've worked with literally more than 10,000 people, because from 2008 I was a trainer and coach for for several multinational companies, and also I did this on my own. Yeah, and I was a collaborator with other training and coaching companies and stuff like that. So I've met lots of people, and I've met lots of people that were so determined to live a shitty life. And what they all say when I ask them, "Does this feel good to you?" They say, "Not really." And when I ask them, "Okay, what are you doing this?" They say, "This is what I'm used to." So inertia, yeah, determination can get us into inertia, and those people were trapped in this inertia of this is how things are. and they didn't like it. So this is why we have the 16th gene key, because the 16th gene key help us to understand how versatile we are, how adaptable we are. Yeah. So when use this versatility, we can get out of that shitty life. That doesn't feel good because our body knows when it feels good, the heart feels good, it's good. When it doesn't feel good, it's not good. So it's very simple. Yeah, simplicity, the 23rd gene key. So when we understand how versatile we are and how adaptable we are, and we can get out of patterns and conditioning, then we can become determined to live a good life. And a good life is not when we have lots of things. Lots of things can come naturally in our lives if we need them. But a good life is when we can adapt easily to most changes, because I understand there are some changes that takes more time to adapt. But we can adapt to very easily to most changes in our life, and when we have a really strong provocation, challenge, we will adapt, but we will adapt, of course, in due time. But we become more adaptable, yeah, more flexible. So how to achieve this versatility is in the way we plan change into our lives. And because people say, hey, I'm going to change. Yeah, and how they're going to plan that shows us if they will succeed into having a good life, or getting into the same shitty life, or into a more shitty life. I really like this word shitty in English. I don't know if it is an offendable word. I really like it. It sounds really nice. Yeah, in my ears. But I'm not a native English speaker, so yeah. So there are two kinds of people: the ones that want fast results, and so they plan for faster results, and they push themselves and others until they get back to the way it was before, because one can push himself or herself onto a limit, and when that person sees that the results didn't came, said, okay, I'm going back to my way of life because this didn't work out. And of course they'll get disappointed. And there are the ones that go step by step and go like in that answer to the question, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is piece by piece. Yeah, so and those people will get disappointed more or less, or less. So fast results in the management of change, because this is what we are talking about, are like sand. Sand doesn't have consistency to be durable. So the results based on patience and determination by applying small firm steps. This is the determination, the 9th gene key's gift. Yeah, by applying small firm steps. These results are like bricks. Bricks contain sand, but the sand in bricks is durable because now has allies. Yes, sand has allies, and this is really interesting because the 16th gene key in I Ching is called enthusiasm. And there are two kinds of enthusiasm. It is enthusiasm that isn't based on reality, that doesn't have support, and it's enthusiasm that has support. The first one will get us to be very disappointed with our lives and judge and be really angry with others. and the second will help us to have a really good life, because we need support. So when this metaphor came to me today, it really clicked. Yeah, it's sand and brick. Brick is containing sand, but now it's more durable, because sand wants to go with it alone, without support. I can conquer the world on my own, and no, we are not like that as a species. We are created to link our native geniuses together, and to be like the brick, to be durable, to be consistent. We can see the countries, the people, the cultures, and the cultures are like this because they have this support. And cultures, we can see cultures in the world that have thousands of years, because of support. Yeah. So if you want to be disappointed in life, be determined, and force yourself on your own. If you want to be well in life, if you don't want to have a reason to be disappointed, then be determined, and be determined to link with others. To find people like you that you can help, and can help each other. So I'm just going to say another thing about the 16th jinki linked with the ninth. So it's about this enthusiasm that contemplated before. So when we are indifferent, the 16 jinki shadow, to the signs we get from outside, if we just lock ourselves from outside and we say I'm doing it on my own, then we are on the road to disappointment. Because we can't perceive, we locked ourselves in our heads. So when we can perceive messages from the outside, because messages from the outside, signs show us if our determination is supported by reality. And if it is supported by reality, then it's the really good time for that. Some people want to live in communities that will be like in 200 years from now. If they really find people to live like that, great. If they don't, then it's just an illusion. So these two jinkies show us to be really grounded. Because if we aren't grounded, we will lose our energy with illusions. So when we are on a good life path for us, and this good life path is the path that is natural, to us, that is supported by life. Everything is there, abundance is there, resources are there. Why? Because our actions are based on our native genius. So when we use our native genius, as the 14th jinki show us, we are really competent, we are really good in what we do, and we attract people that use their native genius, and we'll be like that brick. And I really have seen this sign that a person isn't on a good life path, and this sign is debt. These people are always in debt with energy. They don't have disposable energy. With money, maybe they have loaned lots of money, they can't cover it up. Relationships, anything. So they're always in debt. When on a good life, a person isn't in debt, but can can loan something from life, but to do great things. Yeah, to get great things in reality. But this loan that takes from life from the outside isn't one that can shake that person, because that person has everything, has this abundance. So knows, okay, I'm going to get these forces from outside, from life, so I can really grow, and to create something for everyone. Yeah. um, so this is how a person becomes the entrepreneur of his own life. Yeah, because that person knows how to manage risk and stress with joy and ease. Yeah, because a fake entrepreneur, a pseudo entrepreneur, wants to hit the big score, wants to win the jackpot, and risk it all on an illusion. Yeah, and this illusion can be something noble, like helping others have a better life. And I was in that the trap a few years behind, when I wanted to do here in Romania a center, an excellent center for young people, but it wasn't the time. Yeah, and life showed me the signs, and I got into terrible debt because of what I tried to do. And it was a noble thing, but I wasn't ready, and I didn't see the signs that reality showed me, and there were lots of signs. um, so um, uh, we can say that we are living in an illusion, in a fantasy, the 41st Jinki, when when life doesn't support our intentions. So um, you know, you see this in businesses. Yeah, there are lots of businesses that force themselves to be better, they say, and force other people. And I have only this saying because I was a business consultant, and I saw companies and firms. Any business that is made from stability brings stability. Any business that is made from instability brings instability for all. Yeah. So what I've seen in these companies was like that were in debt because they took lots of money to create that business, and they forced themselves, they forced the employees, and nobody was joyous there. They were like busy, 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 and long faces, and very serious. And I ask ourselves, why do we do things that don't bring joy to us in the long run? Are we masochistic? Yeah, why do we do things on the long run when we see that life doesn't support them? If we don't feel good, it maybe it isn't good for us. Yeah, because nothing in the on the outside will save us, because we are really responsible for how we manage our life. Yeah, so the road to invincibility, the CD of the ninth gene key, comes through battles that we lose. Yeah, so when we understand that the war is not lost, we will lose greatly in our lives. Yeah, the bad thing is like lots of us weren't taught to accept loss. Yeah, and to really know how to treat loss, because if we know how to treat loss, we loss, not laws. Yeah, if we know how to treat loss, we will not go into extremes. So like a gambler, the gambler is a person that doesn't know how to treat loss, and really goes all in all the time, and of course loses, because statistically numbers aren't with him or her. Yeah. So the road to invincibility comes through battles that we lose when we understand that the war is not lost. Yeah. So when people are too afraid to lose, they will wither. Yeah, they will become like living zombies without life. They will be like a withered flower. Yeah. So this is why determination is so important, because I've seen people in my experience that were like, when they fell, they when they fell, but they didn't fell too hard. It was like just a little loss. They would say, hey, life doesn't, it's life sucks. I suck. I'm not good. You know, the inadequacy, the 48th jinky. Yeah. So and I saw them and I was like, wow, when that person will really fall and something really bad will happen, what will happen to that person? Will that person go on a ledge, on a balcony and jump? What will do? Because yeah, sometimes we act. I said this in our last in the last contemplation. Sometimes we just act like wounded children, and we can't see this, we can't accept this, and we just go through this illusion that we have to be something or someone. And yeah, and a wounded child won't listen to other people and himself or herself. So when we learn to lose, we really learn how to live, and we really learn how to be invincible. Yeah, because invisibility is not like we all wins. Invisibility is loss and win. It's trial and error. Yeah, so this is why, as human beings, we need determination to go back on track in the rhythm of the fifth and the 15th jinki. Yeah, that to get back into the rhythm of life. Yeah, but because if we aren't present in our life, in our existence, in the moment, uh, anything can shake us and get us into inertia and say, hey, I'm not good enough, and other things like that, and we lose our joy and we'll get dissatisfied with life, the 58th jinki. So we are really arrogant. I'm going to use the 31st jinki, that is in this collective logical circuit. We are really arrogant when we are so determined to live this shitty life, when we just complain about how life hit us or other people and how there are enemies all around. Yeah, if we wake up and we see there aren't enemies, it's just our perception of all, we really find the truth. Yeah, and the truth is living well, as Richard majestically said it. And I'm really grateful for that, for what he said, because it really clicked in me when I heard it, and I heard it again and again and again and again from him. And this is it. Yeah, the art of living well, to be a master, the mastery, the 16th Jinki's CD, or essence, as I like to put it, is mastery. And we are masters of life when we accept life, and we really accept to lose, and we are determined to get back, not to win, but for the adventure. Yeah, to get back on track and to feel, and to feel life, and to be filled with life, and of course getting a glimpse what is beyond our five senses. Yeah, I hope this contemplation will be of assistance of these two jinkies. Thank you for having patience to listen to me for, I don't know, I think it's more than 30 minutes right now. And in January, I have a little announcement. In January or February or March, I don't really know when, with my good friend and mentor Cătălin Pârvu, we are going to launch an international version of our 5 month training or program that we did in Romania, that is about the 64 gene keys, and is the circuitry of the 64. And we don't know if this will be the name in English, but this is yeah. And we're going to go through the essence of every gene key, going through the circuit, the I Ching, and lots of other things. And in the Romanian program, we really came to some wonderful conclusions about the circuits and how the gene keys link to each other in circuitry. Yeah, because gene keys are linked in programming partners. Gene keys are linked in channel partners, or in rings, codon rings, and also by circuits. And every circuit tells us a part of how we behave as humans and as humanity. Yeah, so it will really be interesting. We will announce more in the next months. If you have questions, please ask them in private, and I will do my best to answer them. I wish you a great evening or week, or have a great day. It depends when you are listening to this. See you next time when we are going to go into the 5th gene key and also the 35th. It will be very interesting because I have lots of 5th gene keys and 35th gene keys in my profile. Yeah, bye bye.